questions.
Hey, you want to come up here? Come on. No, come up here. Don't be shy. Come on. Don't be shy.
She don't want to ask.
Assistant coach, Riley.
She don't want to ask
Say
any
hi, Riley,
questions.
in case you get a question. Just don't talk about your dance crew. All right? My opening statement is, first and foremost, what a great game for women's basketball. An opportunity to play on primetime TV, ESPN2, South Carolina versus Mississippi State. I took this job, with excitement for these moments like this. I'll never forget at Louisville watching TV like everybody else on national television when these moments and this game came up. That was the game to watch. And I mentioned it earlier this week. I have so much respect for Dawn Staley, the hours and the time that she puts in the game. What a class act. The fact that she got T-shirts made for Mike Leach, again, just speaks about her and what a special person she is and the things she's doing for women's basketball. And those kids at South Carolina, they're good kids. You know, a lot of the storylines that are out there, they never talk about what great kids they are and what they're bringing to the women's game. But at the same time, I gotta give a lot of love to my team. I've got some great young women too. They're battling, they're fighting. I've been bringing it up the last 2 weeks. Don't give up on them. They're playing their heart out. They're proud to put on that Mississippi State jersey. It's been a tough stretch against the top half. It's a great time to have an off week so we can clean up some of the little things and see if we can't bottle up what we are doing well and most importantly, bounce back. What do you think, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So, but again, thank you to our crowd. Thank you to Dawn for wearing those shirts. And then thank you for ESPN and having the opportunity to play on the bright lights and the big stage.
Robbie, go ahead.
Obviously, your goal is to win this game, but you're measuring yourself against a program that's coming off a national title, and they have so many players returning from last year, and they've been here for 4 years now. Is this a massive step forward, do you think, for your team to be able to hold them to their lowest point total and stay in the fight from start to finish, you think?
100%. I'm not one who believes in moral victories, but you have to face the facts. As much as I keep on talking about looking in the mirror what we got to do better, you got to look in the mirror what we're doing well. And that's what I told them at half there at the end of the game. I said, y'all, don't let our circle break. There was a point there at the end of the first quarter where I told them lock arms because that's what happened at Ole Miss. We didn't lock arms. We weren't the tougher team, and it hurts me to say it, but Ole Miss was tougher in the fourth quarter. Tennessee, I thought we were tough, but we didn't box out. So I told them, I said, we got two ways to go into this game. We either can point fingers and let other voices tell us what our team needs to do, or else we can look to the left and we can look to the right and we can figure out what we got to do. And I thought we did that tonight.
You discussed the break that you're going to get now. You don't play again until next Sunday.
Yeah.
I mean, what's the focus for you over the next week? Is it letting the players rest up a little bit, or how do you approach this week?
Yeah, I think we definitely rest. It would be good to get some bodies back. But also I think in basketball and life, it's continuing to have hard conversations. With me being their first coach, I think my kids believe in me. I think they trust me. But within that, that's what I told them. We're at that level where, do we have any bad losses on the year? No. Do we have that signature win right now? No. So we got to have hard conversations about what's it take to have those hard moments and us to overcome to finally take that next step up that mountain that we're having. And they're in a great spot. They're giving me all they got. My coaching staff and us are trying to figure out what we can give back to them. And when you have that kind of chemistry and belief within each other, like I said, the best thing in college basketball is you got to be playing your best basketball come March. So let's see if we can't learn from these losses and keep getting better day in and day out.
Coming into this game, you guys knew about South Carolina's size and length, and the rebounding game was going to be tough for you guys. How do you think that you guys were able to handle it as the game went on?
Wow, I think for me, because I never point fingers at my team, I always look at myself, what I could have done. You look at that box score. I think the second quarter was that separation I was trying to avoid. I wanted that first quarter that happened for us. I was like, oh baby, come on, because you got to have the perfect formula to beat somebody like them. You've seen it where they've lost one game a year. I was hoping to be that game at home. But in that second quarter, I actually looked at my staff and I said, I might need to burn another one because I don't know if I'm going to make this stretch. Because you can see us balance so hard all game, and that's credit to them and the DNA that they've got. They keep rotating players. I can't talk enough about how they don't get emotional and they stick together as a team. The next person who comes in carries the baton. That's why they're the defending national champions. So I was so proud of my team fighting. They were a little wore out where maybe I call a timeout. We don't lose that second quarter 20-7 because the next one's 11-10 and then it's 15-15. So I'm gonna take a little of the rebounding on me on that second quarter. But overall, I was proud. We found bodies. At Tennessee, we didn't find bodies. We got them to take the right shots, but we didn't find bodies. And I think when you go back and watch the film, the signature moment for me, and this is what I keep telling our fan base and our fans and everybody who wants to know, don't play the matchup. Don't play the matchup because you can't rebound in it. But I told them if you go back and watch that film against Tennessee and Ole Miss, we didn't box out on the free throw line. What defense is that? That's just woman on woman. Shot goes up, you got to box out. And you saw that film where that first free throw went. We showed film of how low they get, and I saw my team for the first time say, you know what? You ain't getting this rebound. And we got low and we battled. So if we can, for those moments to answer your question, I'm so proud of them. There's growth, but we got to continue to grow, and we can't have moral victories.
Great play.
You talked about that first quarter. How big was it to get off to that start to kind of set the tone?
It was huge. It's a statement, all right? I mean, that's why I tell our fan base to stay with my team. You lose 2 in a row, and you know you're playing the #1 team in the country. What's the easy thing to do? Here we go for 3. But my kids don't live that life. You know what? Adversity hit, and they're fighters. And that's what I said. The group that I've inherited, the 7 that returned, the ones I brought in, they believe in the vision. So to come out without being a fear or a scare was a huge statement for where we're trying to take this program.
Right.
Y'all weren't really afraid of the size. You were attacking them in the post pretty early. The guards were getting to the rim and finishing. How did you feel like y'all attacked them early, and also just the game plan overall for the game offensively?
Yeah, no, I thought we did a great job with as much as I talked about defense, and maybe I could have called time out the second quarter. I think that's what also got us in trouble in that second quarter. We got lanes, but then we didn't at that moment. I talked to my team at half. We didn't take what they were giving us, so we saw success, but in the second quarter they weren't giving those drives, and we drove it into them. So that's part of why we only scored 7 points, because then we played back into their length where we should have played off Jessica. So film's gonna be great learning moments. But yeah, we needed to change it up there in that second quarter.
What did you think of Jessica's close in the fourth?
Was Jessica's what?
Her close, like how she closed the game.
Awesome. I mean, that's where I keep saying it. I think I got one of the best post players in the country, and there was about 5 of Jessicas on the other team, and it's only one Jessica for us. And I thought Charlie gave great minutes. Charlie's fighting. She's going to make that shot that's close to the basket. But, my 2 twin towers. And then Danae Carter. I can't say enough great things about her. Danae has been unbelievable. Danae obviously would love to play more minutes, but she's on a return. She's came back. She's believing in me. I told her this summer is going to be an absolute big moment for growth, because she didn't get in a season where she can work to be a 4 or 3. And her coming in and giving me 16 minutes with 6 rebounds, we could have used that at Tennessee. So I'm proud of my bigs. I'm proud of what they're doing, and we're clawing and fighting.
Great.
That ovation after the game wasn't typically something teams get after a loss, but I guess how cool is it to have the hump behind you the entire game and care so much and be so into the game?
You're going to make me cry. Shoot, I mean, it's awesome. It really is. That's how I really felt when I first heard it. Because again, you know what? The state of Mississippi is special people. It's blue collar, hardworking people. I want this program back. And as much as we had a moral defeat, right, bud? All right? That applause to, you know what? Keep fighting. We got your back was the statement that I've been looking for, and I know it's going to fuel up my girls.
Got time for maybe 1 or 2 more. Great.
I guess, Riley, I have to ask you a question. What did you think of the game?
Good.
You liked it?
Were you proud of the girls? Yeah, proud of the girls. Yeah, got to keep working on rebounding. Does Dad come home and talk about rebounding a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the time?
All the time. And then little sis, and this is the impact our girls, I tell my girls, obviously I'm a girl dad with 3 little girls, but tell them, what number did Reagan, my youngest, go with?
Number 2.
Who is who?
Jerk.
And that's what I try to tell them. Are we trying to win every game? You better believe it. But you know what? Sometimes in life, it's bigger than wins and losses. I'm so proud of my young women. Academically, and this is the cloth I'm trying to get them to understand, South Carolina is elite of elite because they live a lifestyle. They're awesome on the court. They're awesome off the court. When I took this job, I told them, y'all, we got to take these academics serious. We have a 3.12 team GPA, most improved in any team on campus. We're changing the culture. We're believing, and they're good. They're in the community. They're buying in. They're signing autographs after the game. And I told them, the way you're carrying yourself, you'll be surprised. There might be a lot of fans that come up to you and look up to you, but I also got 3 little girls here at home that love you to death. So couldn't be more proud of my team. We'll stick together and see where this can go.
Thanks, everybody.